It's NBA action on EA Sports. I'm Ed Cohen. Great to be joined by Jay Williams for what should be a terrific matchup here tonight. From the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden in Midtown Manhattan. Tonight, the New York Knicks taking on the Sacramento Kings. Kings begin with the basketball. De'Aaron Fox to Hield. Knocked loose. That's a turnover. It goes the other way. Smith. For three. And Dennis Smith Jr. so athletic. Good on the quick release.
Every hero needs a good sidekick. Nice find to set up the three.
Fox into the front court. They're down three. Barnes to Fox. Knocked loose. It's a turnover as they head the other way.
Now push it. Let's attack in transition so we can build this lead.
And score. Strong take.
I love when I see smaller players finish in the paint amongst the trees. But if you're a big on the other side, you can't let that happen so easy.
De'Aaron Fox to Hield. Here comes the screen. He was smothered and still gets it to go down.
Attack mode isn't a switch that you can just turn on and off. He needs to do more of that. We need to see him penetrate, get into that lane, and create.
Has a look. And the rebound comes down to Sacramento. Buddy Hield to Fox. The jab step opens up space to knock down the jumper.
Clearly not afraid of the spotlight here because that was not an easy look.
4-3. Pulled down by Dedmon. Kings with the ball. And the denial.
Oh, he blocked that with authority.
Nothing going here on that drive. Not that time. Grabs his own miss and scores. Good concentration.
Okay, that time it was effective. But a really good defender will put that in their memory bank.
De'Aaron Fox. Deep two there. Won't go. To Korver. Fires the three. You need a brick wall to defend this guy. One of the best in the game, Kyle Korver.
Just let me break down to all the young players at home how special of a pass this was. That was a perfect delivery, and it hit the player right in the chest.
To Julius Randle. Smith. Nothing going here on that drive. Here's a chance from long range. Jay, another one goes down. They're right where they want to be.
Exactly. Next play, you have to turn around defensively and get in the stance and actually keep that same kind of tempo.
That's a turnover. It goes the other way. To Gortat. Trying to cash in. Can't connect.
You see, this is something that everybody has, but some people choose to use it or not. I'm glad you choose to use effort on getting around those screens.
Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play.
And I know there's so much excitement about the play, but everybody looks at the player. More people need to pay attention to the guy at the end of the bench, the strength and conditioning coach, because this kid's been putting in the time and effort every day in the weight room.
Free throw up and good as he finishes off the three-point play. The lead is down to 6.
Let's go, fellas. It's go time.
Substitutions. New
A lot of contact on that play. He plays through it and scores.
You see, you can't actually get mesmerized by the ball. You actually have to focus on the dribbler's belly button. I know that may sound cheesy, but trust me, he can't go anywhere without his core.
Here comes the screen. To Fox. Won't go. Going to launch beyond the arc. The hot shooting continues. He's got 12 in the first quarter, including that trifecta.
And Ed, did you see how quick his release was? There was no wasted motion from the waist up.
Here comes the screen. Oh, good work to step in front. The pass taken away. Deep three at the buzzer. And a three-pointer at the buzzer for good measure. What a finish to the opening period. A great stretch here to start the game. We're through one here at Madison Square Garden with the Knicks on top. Jay and I back with more after this. You're watching the NBA on EA Sports. Ed Cohen, Jay Williams with you as we get things started here in the second quarter. Knicks with the basketball. Smith to Marcus Morris. Driving right to the basket. He wants it at the rim and scores.
You normally don't see that, but that's the type of thing that keeps shooters in the league for a long time. Every once in a while, they venture into the paint.
Trevor Ariza guarded by Gibson. To Hield. Fires the three, so the first points for him in this first half, and he knocks it down for three.
Yeah, they really need him to get going. Really surprised that none of his teammates have been talking to him. This is when he needs him the most. They have to uplift him, help him continue to be confident on the court.
Lets it fly from long range, buries it on the catch and shoot.
They're shooting the ball well, but let me tell you why. They're already ready to shoot before they even catch the ball. Look at their hands. Their hands are ready, providing a target. So when they catch that ball, they go right into their shot. We call that being shot ready.
Won't go. Buddy Hield. From long range. Not that time. He missed it. New York in control of the basketball. To Marcus Morris. Oh, had him going there for a second. The pass set it all up.
That's lunch pail business right there. Don't worry about the no call. Keep powering through.
Doesn't have the touch. No good.
And this happens all the time in this league. Sometimes offensively, you're tired. It's one of those type of nights. You combine that with the fact that the defense is hungry and active and contesting everything. That's why shots aren't dropping.
Great feed. Yes, and the foul, and a chance at three coming up.
So many times we get on the defender for quote-unquote letting the offensive player score on an and one. Sometimes there's a lucky bounce, but more often than not, it's the offensive player who makes the play happen despite the defender's best intentions.
Has a chance. Missed it. Not much more you could ask for from the defense there. Joseph with it. Down a bundle. It's a turnover as they head the other way.
Keep your foot on the gas, but don't get too reckless.
Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Buries the wide-open three. That's too easy.
Well, they're shooting the ball at an amazing clip, and when they shoot the ball this well, they're essentially unguardable. And Ed, let me tell you what that does for the team. It eventually opens up space to put the ball down on the ground and get to the rim. That's how critical the three-point shot is.
Here comes the screen. Substitution being made in this one. Spins and scores.
Showing you why he belongs here in this league with the best of the best. Efficient scoring out of the rookie here tonight.
Joseph with it. His guys down big. A drive to the basket, but it somehow stays out. Let's see what the Knicks can do here. To Marcus Morris. Has a look. Knocks it down from mid-range.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. Pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
Trying to cash in. Ariza with a shot, no good. To Payton. Slam dunk.
You know, from a point guard perspective, one of the things that I learned when I played in the league was that the more I was willing to give the ball up, the harder other players were willing to run to their spots. The harder the bigs were running to the rim. The harder the three-point shooters were running to the three-point line because they knew they could be active recipients. And when they caught the ball, they knew exactly what to do with it.
And a chance coming up at the line.
Smart play to rip through the extended arm of the defender. That will get you to the free throw line every time.
De'Aaron Fox has got 2 shots coming. He's perfect from the line so far. Oops, he missed the first one. Off the mark. 0 for 2 at the line. To Korver. Beyond the arc for 3. Oh, that's how it's done.
This is a game of ways. As a defense, you have to recognize that they come and they go. That will not be the case all the time moving forward.
Defense forces the turnover, and it leads to points.
And attention to detail is everything for a professional scorer like that. Actually getting it done the hard way there.
Fox across the timeline. He'll run the offense. To Hield. Driving is Fox, but he can't get it to fall. Nice finish at the rim.
It looks like he's using his ball handling to feel the game out. I know it looks like he's just playing around out there trying to get the fans going. That is true, but he's also finding his rhythm.
Here comes the screen. Now a steal on a very lazy pass there.
Come on, let's dig in. Let's really build this lead.
What can you say? Morris locked in on that one.
Everything looks great when you shoot the ball like this. And yes, Ed, this team does have some issues, but they are all masked and camouflaged with this shooting display we're watching.
New blood coming in for both sides.
Into the game for the Knicks, number 52,
Can't connect from in close.
It's easy. Force guys into low percentage shots. That's the reason why we're big into stats. It was all provided to you before the game in the scouting report.
To Corver.
1 minute
The
remaining.
pass taken away by the Kings. And he's fouled, and he earns a trip to the line.
Love the fact that the shooter created contact on the upward motion to shoot the basketball. Big time play.
Knocks down the first. Goes 2 for 2 at the line. The possession lies with New York. To Gortat. Gortat rocking the rim.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. Pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
To Gortat. Leaving no doubt. Slams it down.
It has been. The passing has been great, but the precision of the passing has been next level. Every pass has been delivered right in the pocket, ready for the player to either shoot or dunk the ball.
Right.
Whoa! Get that out of here.
Message sent, Jay. Nice pass to get things going.
It's so difficult to block a guy like that with that kind of athleticism and length. Your timing almost has to be perfect, but pretty much there's no stopping him when he's around the rim.
Oh, he had him there for a second. Navigating through traffic.
Here we go. Double team. Double team.
19-footer at the buzzer. A very one-sided first half of basketball as we are at halftime. Let's get you to our NBA Live studios in Orlando and hand it over to Jalen Rose for our EA Sports halftime report. Jalen.
Thanks, fellas. Jalen here with your halftime report. The Knicks were the dominant team in that first half, without question. It was their playmaking, the way they gave each other scoring opportunities. That really impresses me. I love seeing unselfish basketball like that. These are the guys getting buckets for the New York Knicks. The Kings have got themselves in a bad situation that seems likely to only get worse. The way they struggle. And with that, I'm sending it back to Ed and Jay to bring you the rest of the game.
Possession lies with New York. The jab step opens up space to knock down the jumper.
Attack mode isn't a switch that you can just turn on and off. He needs to do more of that. We need to see him penetrate, get into that lane, and create.
Oh, emphatic slam.
Man, they are just continuing to pour it on. But the one thing we know about in this league, you have to make sure that you continue to play with energy because leads can evaporate quickly.
Fox to the basket, but a shot stays out.
It's easy for the offense to get agitated when you keep turning around and the defense is right there in your face. The jawing is only going to escalate.
Gets to the basket and scores.
No doubt about where that one was headed.
Fox with it. Looking to make something happen. Tough shot and nearly a chance at a three-point play. No foul.
Ooh, cool, calm, and collective. The 3 C's. His handles are effortless.
To Dennis Smith Jr. Count the basket, and it could have been more. No whistle.
Did you see the way that dribble freed him up? It created so much space. I did, but the defender didn't.
De'Aaron Fox. Shot from the lane won't go. To Gortat. Yes, marching Gortat. Looking good. 4 for 5.
That's a strong finish. Regardless of contact, finishing strong is key.
Able to convert inside.
Old school equals high percentage.
To Gortat. Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play.
The offense has very little to lose on those type of plays if they know they can, number one, create contact, and number two, still get the ball up. You need to assert yourself fully on the defensive end by initiating the contact and not allowing the offensive player to get that ball above his waist.
Marcin Gortat at the line for a chance at a three-point play. For his career, 67%. Free throws good as they continue to widen their lead. Sacramento ball. De'Aaron Fox to the basket for 2.
Well, you know what the old saying is, when you assume, you make a... You know what I'm talking about. You can't fault the D too much there. I was expecting to kick out 3.
To Korver. For 3. Had made his first couple, but he misses there.
Great contest by the D, but I want to see the coaching staff call the same exact play the next possession. Get that offensive player the ball. Let him prove that it wasn't the D. It was more in his own head.
Gets a look. Can't hit. To Korver. Smith.
I got him. Here we go.
4-3. It's good. And he's not done. He's going to the line for a chance at a 4-point play.
Most definitely contact on that forearm during the follow-through. You have to give the offensive player a lot of credit. The concentration you need to make a shot after getting fouled, that's big time.
Dennis Smith Jr. with a chance at a 4-point play. For his career, 69% at the line. Can convert the free throw. Kings have the basketball. De'Aaron Fox. Oh, he had it.
Here we go. I got him. I got one. Yeah, keep him hit. Keep him hit.
He gets it.
Might have had an extra dribble or 2 there, but he got the shot he wanted.
De'Aaron Fox to Bagley. Screen coming.
Right.
Barnes to Fox. 5 on the shot clock for Sacramento. Shot by Fox, no good.
Just seems like there's lead in the feet of the defenders. You have to bounce quicker to the ball to deter that shot.
You need a brick wall to defend this guy. One of the best in the game, Kyle Korver.
You know, from a point guard perspective, one of the things that I learned when I played in the league was that the more I was willing to give the ball up, the harder other players were willing to run to their spots. The harder the bigs were running to the rim. The harder the three-point shooters were running to the three-point line because they knew they could be active recipients. And when they caught the ball, they knew exactly what to do with it.
Both coaches dipping into their reserves. Changes coming onto the floor. Taj Gibson with a piece. New York Knicks basketball. Count the basket inside.
Ooh, shows like this separate the good players from the great ones. The good players, they have good first halves, and then they fade to black in the second. The great players, they just sustain that kind of dynamic energy throughout the entire ball game.
Nice pass to set things up. De'Aaron Fox slams it down.
It's a new day in sports when you see little guards dunk the ball like they're big. That's called a 40-inch vertical.
Knocked loose. That's a turnover. It goes the other way. To Marcus Morris. Fires the three. Tough shot. Well defended. Bagley to Fox. It's a turnover as they head the other way. Here's a chance from long range. Ooh, he'll take that.
He's most definitely got the hot hand behind the three-point arc. Anytime your first-round pick is shooting like this, your GMs and owners just sit back and smile.
De'Aaron Fox. Marvin Bagley with the slam. Jay, let's see if that's a sign for him.
Well, he's been pretty much non-existent the first three quarters, but when you have a play like that, that can get the juices going, and that can help you with your offensive rhythm.
Going to launch beyond the arc. That's corralled by Bagley. It's Sacramento ball. De'Aaron Fox. Marcin Gortat. Tips it. That's out. Last touch by Taj Gibson. Both teams tweaking their lineups. Here come some changes. Down to 5. Down to 4 to shoot. The Knicks clear the board. To Korver.
Double team, double team, double team.
Over to the right side. Fires the three. He was all over him. And the basket good at the rim.
Bodies bouncing all around on that layup with the offense winning that battle. But if the defense keeps up that kind of pressure, good things are bound to happen.
Forget it, double. Oh, shoot that.
Lets it fly from long range. Buries it on the catch and shoot.
I know there are refs on the court all the time, but it doesn't mean they can see every play. Maybe defensively, grab his jersey, step on his toe, do something to kind of change up his pace.
The quarter comes to an end with the Knicks enjoying a sizable lead. The Kings have the basketball as we begin the fourth quarter, and this has not been one of their better performances to this point. They've been...
Substitutions, Sacramento. Substitutions, New York.
Hey, left.
Nothing going here on that drive. With the fadeaway. Burns him for the basket. It's the Kings now with the ball.
Man, I know you see this. Give me the rock.
Missed it. How'd that not go down?
I got ball. It's all.
To Gortat.
I'm here. I'm gonna have shot. Oh yeah.
Nothing going here on that drive. To Marcus Morris. Here comes the screen.
Screen right.
Finishing inside the paint on that one.
You know, it reminds me, Ed, of a story a legendary coach once told me. He said, if you ever get in a fight, you're not going to hit somebody with an open hand, correct? You'll probably break a finger. But if you hit somebody with the fist, what is that? That's 5 fingers working collectively together as one. That's how you deliver a knockout punch, and that's what we're seeing tonight.
Knocked loose. That's a turnover. It goes the other way.
I I tried to work the clock here, but you have to take care of the ball in this possession.
Off the assist.
I remember my high school coach said one man can't beat five. Well, I'm telling you right now, he lied. I'm watching it happen in person.
Watch that cut. Shoot it!
From long range, it's good. Defense has to pick things up.
It's all about creating space with the dribble. Once you have that gap, you can beat somebody in a variety of ways. He chose a dagger with a three.
And a nice finish at the rim.
You normally don't see that, but that's the type of thing that keeps shooters in the league for a long time. Every once in a while, they venture into the paint.
Here comes the screen. New York with 4 to shoot. Oh, mistake there as the pass stolen by the Knicks.
Tonight, it may not cost you, but in the playoff game, it will.
Kings with the ball. Here comes the screen. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. That's how you defend.
And look, sometimes you don't have it going every single night. Maybe utilize yourself as a decoy and get some teammates involved with your passing.
Great defense there, forcing the pickup to Dennis Smith Jr. Korver.
There you go. Watch him. I got you here. Right here. Right here.
Smith now. It's no good. Shots not going down.
Everybody pick up. Everybody pick up. Dia.
That misses with 2 seconds to go. It's a victory. Oh, how about that? A 3 at the buzzer. That's going to bring some icy stares from the other bench. This one is now all over.
Hey everyone, it's Jalen Rose, and it's time for the EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Knicks put on a show in a blowout. The scoring display they put on is going to be hard to forget. It's hard to imagine anyone doesn't come away impressed with how effectively they score their points. Check out the leading scores for the New York Knicks. The Kings lost this game long before the final buzzer. See y'all next time. Jalen Rose, signing out.
It's NBA action on EA Sports. I'm Ed Cohen. Great to be joined by Jay Williams for what should be a terrific matchup here tonight. We're at Talking Stick Resort Arena in downtown Phoenix. Tonight, it's the Phoenix Suns getting set to match up with the New York Knicks. The Suns win the opening tip. They'll have it first as we get going in the desert. Booker to Porter. Oh, nice find for the basket.
Strong finish. That's what you need, regardless of contact, focusing on the rim.
Jay, the Knicks searched long and hard for their next head coach. They chose David Fizdale. Why was this the right choice?
Well, first off, he's a two-time NBA champion as assistant coach with D. Wade and LeBron James from Miami Heat. And I got some time to spend with him down in Miami at D. Wade's fantasy camp. He is hard and very stern, but it comes from a brotherly place. His ability to build the right culture in New York will be imperative, but it all starts with that kind of teaching.
To Rubio. Porter to Booker. Not that time. Ricky Rubio, 2 for 2. That's what you want.
Look, there was barely any contact on that last play. I agree with the ref's no call. Let him play.
Has a chance. Gets a look. Can't hit. To Rubio. That's a turnover. It goes the other way. Possession lies with New York. Gets to the basket and scores.
So many people think making assists is creating something razzle and dazzle. Sometimes giving the ball up early is the right play and the most efficient.
Shot from the lane won't go. To Julius Randle. Smith. Tough-looking shot there. Still gets it to go down.
Great job using that shoulder to create contact with the defender without hesitation.
Rubio to Booker. Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play.
Ed, you ever bail out of something at the last second? That's what I saw right there from the defender. We call that no man's land. They weren't really committed to getting out of the way, committing a hard foul, or taking the brunt of the contact.
Smith with it up top. Looking to make something happen. Off the mark. No good. Here's Rubio up top. He'll run the offense. It was right there.
And this is where you know you have the offense right where you want them. Every possession, all you see them doing is complaining to the ref, complaining to each other. You're making the game uncomfortable. That's the mark of a good defense.
Rubio into the front court. They trail by 2. It's a turnover as they head the other way. To Julius Randle. Lays it up and in.
He's been doing this for years. The physicality in which he plays. No one wants to see that. You're going to leave the game with black and blue marks all over your body.
To Porter. Shot from the and a put-back slam.
Woo, that's nasty right there.
To Gortat. Nothing going here on that drive. Screen coming.
Screen. Take that. I got you.
He was smothered and still gets it to go down.
They're going to have to find answers defensively and quickly because he's carving them up in the first quarter.
Booker to Porter. To Booker. Nice pass to set things up. Julius Randle rejects it. Booker
Sent a message on that one, Ed.
lets it fly from long range. That's off the side of the rim, no good. To Gortat. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Not a good shot there as he misses it. Here's Rubio into the front court. The score 12-8. Gortat. From long range. Well defended. To Rubio. Look out, Devin Booker. First couple didn't go. That one is true.
When the ball's in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
Got it.
You see, you can't actually get mesmerized by the ball. You actually have to focus on the dribbler's belly button. I know that may sound cheesy, but trust me, he can't go anywhere without his core.
Now the Suns coach gonna signal for a timeout as they'll talk things over in what's now a 4-point game. Tough make through traffic.
I'll tell you what, it's impressive to watch a young player this new to the NBA not be afraid to drive to the basket. Goes a long way in establishing your presence in the league.
The pass set it all up.
Hand down, man down. You got to get up and contest the shot.
The assist from number 36, Dario Saric.
And a nice finish at the rim.
It looks like he's using his ball handling to feel the game out. I know it looks like he's just playing around out there trying to get the fans going. That is true, but he's also finding his rhythm.
Nothing going here on that drive. To Marcus Morris. The drive right to the basket. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
That was such a great job by the offensive player. Knowing that you're probably going to take some lumps here and there, but still remaining aggressive throughout the shot and getting a crack at the extra point.
Julius Randle trying to cash in on the 3-point play. 71% for his career. Whoops, that won't go. Suns with the basketball. Baseline drive, the shot won't fall. To the rim. Knocked loose. That's a turnover. It goes the other way. Here's a chance from long range. That's off the side of the rim, short. Knocked loose. Mikal Bridges. It goes down.
Another possession they were forced to take a tough shot. This time they got it to go, but they need to do something different to start creating more open look opportunities.
And the basket good at the rim.
Showing you why he belongs here in this league with the best of the best. Efficient scoring out of the rookie here tonight.
Deep 3 at the buzzer. First quarter's complete. The Knicks have the lead. Ed Cohen, Jay Williams with you as we get...
Substitutions, Phoenix. Substitutions.
Hey, locked up. Get the ball, get the ball.
Active fans to stay with it. We'll get a jump. Well, as they get ready for the jump, someone's going to come away with the basketball.
I got ball.
To Korver. Jumper's good.
Well, when you play for each other and not just for yourself, that's when great things happen. You essentially lose yourself in what the team is trying to accomplish. It's called unselfish basketball. And there's nothing more beautiful than rewarding your teammate with a nice pass and letting them finish for 2 or 3 points.
Taj Gibson. He's finally...
To the basket there. Instead of trying to go around or over, go through.
To Mikal Bridges. Rubio to Porter. To Rubio. And he finishes at the rim.
And Ed, here's my offensive theory. More touches, more points. This is a fast-paced league. Either the coaches adapt or you'll be left behind.
Gets it to go. Could have been more. A lot of contact, but no foul.
Who's controlling the paint? The offense is controlling the paint right now. The defense needs to do a better job of making it more uncomfortable for those easy legs.
Rubio. Slam dunk, DeAndre Ayton. Jay, you know the deal. Keep the touches coming inside.
As long as that defense continues to give you high percentage shots, you better take that every time.
That's going to be out of bounds.
Here we go. My ball, my ball.
Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play.
People become so fixated on the hands or the arms or the strengths of the arms. I look at the legs. The strength of his legs help him power through that play. That's how you get and ones.
And he missed the free throw. To Gortat. Gortat rocking the rim.
You know, from a point guard perspective, one of the things that I learned when I played in the league was that the more I was willing to give the ball up, the harder other players were willing to run to their spots. The harder the bigs were running to the rim. The harder the three-point shooters were running to the three-point line because they knew they could be active recipients. And when they caught the ball, they knew exactly what to do with it.
New York in control of the basketball. Fires the three. Can't do much better than that. Kyle Korver misses the shot. 19-footer at the buzzer. That'll do it for the period. The Knicks have the lead.
Thanks, Ed. Let's get right into the action here. The Knicks are in a close game thus far. It was their playmaking, the way they gave each other scoring opportunities. That really impresses me. I love seeing unselfish basketball like that. Have a look at the leading scorers for the New York Knicks. The Suns are within striking distance at the half. And while they may be down, it's not for a lack of effort. They deserve some respect for how well they've generated scoring with their offensive rebounding. Have a look at the leading scorers for the Phoenix Suns.
Game track. Bench points.
This is a game where the bench guys deserve a bit of the spotlight. The thing is, you need a spotlight big enough for the reserves on both squads. This is a game that's been all about the depth in the depth chart.
Player of the half.
I like this choice because he really put on the show in the opening half. There's a reason he's a fan favorite.
Who was cold?
What can you say about a guy like this? Except that he fits the title of this segment. He was definitely cold in that first half. Here we go with the top plays from the first half.
Number 2. Number 1.
All right, back to the second half. I'll see you after the game.
Booker with it. The deficit now up to 5. To Porter. Screen coming. Porter to Booker. Won't go. He needs some luck on his side given how they're defending. Smith to Gortat. Scores from the post.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. Pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
Great defense there, forcing the pickup. Korver to Julius Randle. Able to convert inside.
Old school equals high percentage.
Into the front court, it's Booker. His guys down by 9. To Rubio. Knocked loose. It's a turnover as they head the other way.
Here's your chance to break this thing wide open.
Takes it right to the rim. A lot of contact there, but they say no foul.
Showing you why he belongs here in this league with the best of the best. Efficient scoring out of the rookie here tonight.
That's a turnover. It goes the other way. To Gortat. Yes, marching Gortat. Looking good. 4 for 5.
And the true test of a team's character is how they respond when they get hit in the mouth. Keep digging.
Booker to Porter. They'll get it down to Booker. Old school. Backs his man down for the basket.
And the last 10 sequences down the court, everybody's touched the ball. You don't see anybody with any kind of negative expressions on their face because everybody's eating.
To Korver. Smith now. Won't go down. Here's Rubio up top. His guys down 11. Slam dunk, DeAndre Ayton.
It's so difficult to block a guy like that with that kind of athleticism and length. Your timing almost has to be perfect, but pretty much there's no stopping him when he's around the rim.
Gortat. To Dennis Smith Jr. Gortat. To Julius Randle. Perfect feed to set up the basket.
You know, from a point guard perspective, one of the things that I learned when I played in the league was that the more I was willing to give the ball up, the harder other players were willing to run to their spots. The harder the bigs were running to the rim. The harder the three-point shooters were running to the three-point line because they knew they could be active recipients. And when they caught the ball, they knew exactly what to do with it.
To Dennis Smith Jr. Flushes it home.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. Pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
Ricky Rubio. He's got 2 shots coming. He's struggled so far. First free throw is good. Goes 2 for 2 at the line. The possession lies with New York. Right through the heart of the defense. The layup is good.
Hey, one of the things I hear all the great teams say in the huddle, they say 1, 2, 3, no mercy. Now it's time for you to go even harder on the defensive end.
Now whistle. We'll get a timeout from Phoenix as their coaching staff wants to talk things over here in this 3rd quarter. New blood coming in for both sides. Knocked loose. It's a turnover as they head the other way. To Taj Gibson. To Julius Randle. He gets it.
We're watching a clinic right now. We're watching basketball one-on-one. Whoever this professor is, he needs to get paid top dollar.
It's Phoenix ball.
I got this down. Let's go.
Taj Gibson. Huge block.
Just erasing mistakes left and right.
Oh, Jay, he commands the paint this time down.
I don't know if the scouting report has made its way out here yet, but if anything, it says you need to not let him get that close to the rim.
To Marcus Morris. Taj Gibson. To Julius Randle. Swings it. Smith. Oh, he had him there for a second. From the painted area, won't go down.
It's easy for the offense to get agitated when you keep turning around and the defense is right there in your face. The jarring is only going to escalate.
Knocks it down. Off the step back.
Ooh, I'm telling you from experience, his teammates will never let that one down.
Charged with the board. Porter to Booker. Knocked loose. That's a turnover. It goes the other way. Knicks with the basketball. A drive through the paint, but his shot misses. Taj Gibson, not a busy night, but effective. 2 for 2.
I love the drive to the basket there. Instead of trying to go around or over, go through.
And they call the foul. Careful there, Jay.
That's just a blatant foul. Maybe he's trying to make a statement.
Crawford to Booker. Short jumper off the mark. Basket's good on the follow. Way to stay with it.
People at home, did you know that Aaron Baines played rugby growing up? He knows no other way but to be physical on the court because that's how he leaves his mark.
Nothing going here on that drive. To Gibson. 4-3. Buries it on the catch and shoot.
But it was how he created the shot. As a defender, there's a tendency to stand up when you stare at the ball. Offensive player recognized that, continuously moved without the ball. Bang, that's how he set it up.
Here comes the screen. Mikal Bridges. Crawford. Not that time. He missed it. Count the basket. 2 more points in the paint.
The pass was really good, but what I love most about the play, Ed, was that every player that ran in transition had active hands, which means they were active targets. They provided a target for the player to deliver the pass. That's how you work together as teammates.
To Crawford. Taj Gibson sends it away.
Sent a message on that one, Ed.
Off the assist.
The assist from number 2.
Deep 3 at the buzzer. Third quarter comes to an end with the Knicks enjoying a sizable lead. The Knicks to inbound here to start the fourth quarter. And if they were looking good at halftime, Jay, they're really looking good now.
They really turned up that intensity in the third quarter. They were looking to put this game out of reach, and they've come out close to doing it.
And count the basket.
You know, it reminds me out of a story a legendary coach once told me. He said, if you ever get in a fight, you're not going to hit somebody with an open hand, correct? You'll probably break a finger. But if you hit somebody with a fist, what is that? That's 5 fingers working collectively together as one. That's how you deliver a knockout punch, and that's what we're seeing tonight.
Mikal Bridges. 5 seconds to shoot. For 3. Working hard on the glass. Missed it. How'd that not go down? Hayden into the front court. His guys holding the big lead. Can't connect. DeAndre Ayton to Crawford. Here comes the screen. The screen sets him up for two.
There you go. I like seeing his scoring coming from unlikely sources.
Let's see what the Knicks can do here. Hayden to Marcus Morris. Goes reverse to lay it in.
Well, we got a chance to firsthand watch something be created. I think we just watched an epidemic of passing. I've never seen something like this before. It was so contagious, everybody started to do it, and it ultimately led to the other team's demise.
If that's an epidemic, sign me up. And finishes strong.
An easy two, get back on defense.
Number 16.
Hayden with the basketball. His guys hold a commanding lead. Short jumper off the mark. Oubre to Mikal Bridges. Now ready for a couple of free throws.
Okay, now we're on the home stretch, and you got a big lead. Don't let your opponent back in this game by giving up extra possessions.
First try, no good. Good recovery. Hits the second free throw. New York Knicks basketball. Hayden to Julius Randle. Down to 5 on the 24. Beyond the arc for three. Oh, that's how it's done.
Ooh, welcome to the new reality. Positionless basketball. Bigs are now PGs with the ability to drain threes.
Now the Suns going to signal for a timeout as they'll make sure they're all on the same page here in the fourth quarter. Time to shuffle things up. Rims out. Korver. Ah, you've got to get that one to go. Booker with it. Down a bundle. To Porter. Screen coming. Porter. Fine to shoot. Trying to cash in. Tyler Johnson at the line for 2 shots. For his career, 77% at the line. Knocks down the first. 2 for 2 on that trip. Possession lies with New York to Dennis Smith Jr. Here comes the screen. Smith. Taj Gibson above the rim. At this point, if it continues, it just may be good night, Irene.
And I like that Irene line.
There you go, Jay.
And sometimes as a player on the defensive end, Ed, you need to draw a line in the sand. You have to find a way to change the narrative because right now the constant theme has been too many easy buckets.
Jay, don't deny it. You're an old soul at heart.
Yeah, I still don't know who Irene is, though.
Me neither. Deep 2 there. Won't go. Hayden into the front court. Looking to make something happen. Korver to Dennis Smith Jr. Going to launch beyond the arc. And the rebound taken in by the Suns. Oh, the touch at the rim. Count it.
2 points. Take them any way you can get them.
Couldn't keep.
Substitutions, Phoenix. Substitutions, New York.
Crawford to Mikal Bridges.
Right.
2 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Crawford. And finishes strong. He climbed the ladder on that one.
Well, the question is, how big is the ladder? He's still climbing.
Goes to the right side. Unbothered by the defense as he drills it.
Sometimes when the players find that flow, nobody else needs to touch the ball. He's in a zone by himself.
Knocked loose. It's a turnover as they head the other way.
That's all she wrote. Dribble it out.
Trying for a 30-point night, but it's no good.
Just because you're an elite shooter doesn't mean you need to shoot the ball every possession. Maybe give a head fake, crack into the defender, get to the free throw line, see the ball go in the hole.
It's no good. Great defense. From the outside, and a putback slam.
Ed, it's pretty amazing how athletic bigs can be when it comes to getting an easy 2 points, huh?
The jab step opens up space to knock down the jumper.
Attack mode isn't a switch that you can just turn on and off. He needs to do more of that. We need to see him penetrate, get into that lane, and create.
And a whistle.
A simple touch foul.
Crawford. The Suns with 4 to shoot. Shot by Saric off the mark. Nice touch around the basket with the tip.
Ooh, shows like this separate the good players from the great ones. The good players, they have good first halves, and then they fade to black in the second. The great players, they just sustain that kind of dynamic energy throughout the entire ball game.
Off the mark. He loves the tough shots, but that one may be too tough.
That's how you do it. You keep riding him to the basket, and if the refs aren't calling it, keep being physical. Keep knocking him off balance.
Missed it. They weren't going to give that to him.
I agree. I thought there was a foul, but also it's all about your approach. You can't come down the lane and jump off one leg. It's called a power lift. Go up 2 legs and expect the contact.
Oh, great pass. Setting up the basket. Nothing going here on that drive. Layup's good. Those are the types of shots you always strive for. Late heave to beat the buzzer. It's a victory for the Knicks as they win this one handily. That'll wrap things up. For Jay Williams and our entire crew, I'm Ed Cohen. This has been a presentation of the NBA on EA Sports.
It's Jalen Rose, and it's time for the EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Knicks came away with the victory in this one, And some people may disagree, but I think their ball movement was the biggest key to their victory. Still, I think we'd all agree that they made the defense look slow and confused throughout this matchup. What you see here is how the majority of the points were scored for the New York Knicks. The Suns couldn't put it together to get the victory here today. And even though some of them smiled and shook hands with the other guys after the game, you could tell the Knicks put one in the win column with a solid performance. You ask me, and I'll tell you, it was the ball movement that made all the difference. There's something to be said for a team that can win as a group, and that's what happened here today. Here are the guys who put up the most points for the New York Knicks. The Suns just couldn't get within striking distance toward the end of the game. I'm sure they can't help but feel frustrated with the result, but they can't let that feeling linger. Sooner than later, they need to start thinking about the next matchup. Here are the guys who put up the most points for the Phoenix Suns.
Game stats. Player of the game.
If you asked him, I'm sure he'd give the credit to his teammate and coaches. But at the end of the day, we know that he's the one that made the biggest impact on this game.
Who was cold?
What can you say about a guy like this? Except that he fits the title of this segment. He was definitely cold in this game. These are the top plays of the game.
Number 2. Number 1.
These are the upcoming games to the Phoenix Suns. The Knicks were solid in today's victory. And some people may disagree, but I think their ball movement was the biggest key to their victory. Still, I think we'd all agree that they made the defense look slow and confused throughout this matchup. What you see here is how the majority of the points were scored for the New York Knicks. The Suns put up a fight, but didn't get their hands raised at the end. And even though some of them smiled and shook hands with the other guys after the game, you could tell by the way they headed to the tunnels how disappointed they were about this loss. What you see here is how the majority of the points were scored for the Phoenix Suns.
Game stats. Player of the game.
I like this choice because he really put on the show in this game. There's a reason he's a fan favorite.
Who was cold?
This isn't the segment you want to be in, of course, but even the best players find their way into this part of the show. Time now for the top plays of the game.
Number 2. Number 1.
Here are the upcoming games for the Phoenix Suns. The Knicks put together a nice win here today. You ask me, and I'll tell you, it was the ball movement that made all the difference. There's something to be said for a team that can win as a group, And that's what happened here today. Check out the leading scores for the New York Knicks. The Suns didn't lose big, but it wasn't exactly. And that does it for our post-game wrap-up. On behalf of ESPN on EA Sports, I'm Jalen Rose. Thanks for joining us.